Hello, friends. I want to invite you to something. And in this video, I'm going to just give you a little sample of what that something looks like. It actually is something I've already introduced to you in a previous video called The Storycaster's Loom, which I will link down below. It'll give you much more details, much more context for this gathering, this free monthly gathering that began last month, and just kind of set the stage for what this is. But I wanted to just pop on here, give you a reminder of the Storycasters Loom, which is coming up next week, and to give you another sample from one of the participants of our first Storycasters Loom to give you a sense of what we're up to in that space. So welcome back to Heartscapes. My name is Michaela. We are here studying the system of Reiki to live lives that are rooted, spacious, connected, and that provision us for the journey home to ourselves. So I started the Storycasters Loom in response to the times that we are living in. Those of us in the United States are living through quite a bit of political, social, cultural upheaval in this time. There are massive changes and disruptions and dismantlings of government structures, of social safety nets, of cultural expectations, and just general expectations of how our society is meant to function. Much of this coming rapidly and in ways that are quite unsettling. And it's incredibly important that each of us really find our center inside of these times, that we find ways to stay resourced and grounded, that we find the places that we are meant to respond, to take action, to protect ourselves and others, to have our voices be heard, and to, be in the midst of this time in ways that feel authentic and effective for us. I believe we also, in the midst of all of that, have an opportunity to cast our vision, to cast our attention towards what might come next. Because what we do know, historically, spiritually, energetically, mentally, emotionally, is that when things fall apart, when we have experiences that, through the metaphor that is brought to us by the tarot, that are tower moments where things crumble and fall into rubble, into dust, and are never the same again. There is great disruption in that, but there is also great opportunity. It means that something new is ready to emerge. And so finding our place inside of that is incredibly important. That's a lot of the work I have been doing personally, and then I've been holding space for other people. On the one hand, working with grief, with uh, being with the losses that are being experienced, to navigating the fear and the anger and the desire for connection, for something greater to happen on the one hand, so that we can be present in what is actually occurring. On the other hand, I feel deeply called to hold space for what could be, for what could emerge from these times. To be sure, we are heading towards one horizon or another. And what we pay attention to, and therefore what actions we take in this time, will determine which horizon we end up moving towards. We are certainly going to end up somewhere. And it's important that we are able to cast a vision, to cast a dream, use our imagination to imagine perhaps something completely new, or something that re envisions what has been in a way that serves us better. Now, of course, us is a huge category. Everybody's going to have a different view of what a better society could look like. I am holding space with people who believe that what is happening now is not the direction that we want to go in, that is leading us towards a horizon of destruction, of perhaps oppression, of going back to times when the people were disempowered and were governed by, you know, fierceness and greed from above. And that there is other ways to be. So, the Storycaster's Loom is about dreaming into those other ways, about keeping our attention on what could be in the direction of a different type of society that we get to think about and dream and wrestle with, and then find our own path inside of. It's a time for us to gather. to sit in meditation, to calm our nervous system and be grounded, and then to use the capacity of our incredible imagination to open up possibility, to dream into the future. Not necessarily just our personal future, but the future of 7 generations hence, the future of the far horizon, as one of my mentors, Norma Wong, describes, a future that is far beyond our own personal lifespan, keeping in our heart and our mind what life will be like for our great grandchildren, our great great grandchildren, the generations that are to come after us, and then align our actions now in our lifetime in service of that vision. But if we can't imagine it, if we can't see it in our mind or feel it in our body and express it in our hearts and then communicate it to each other, then we're much less likely to find the direction that we need to get there. So the Storycasters Loom is about that. Grounding together, dreaming together, telling our stories of the far horizon together. We have had one such gathering formally, several informal versions of this, and it has been so amazing. It has been so enlivening and validating and supportive to me and to those who have gathered. And one of our participants, Sabrina Chase, who I have the honor of being friends and colleagues with, we have facilitated a retreat together that holds many of these concepts. We will be facilitating more such retreats in the future. Stay tuned. I'll let you know about them. And she kindly shared what she wrote in our first Storycasters Loom, where she took the prompts that were given. Each one of will focus on different aspects of society and our dreaming. She took her stories and she created short videos that express them to us and that share her words and her own voice of what she imagines on the far horizon. So I want to offer those to you here in this video, right after this little conversation, to give you a sense of what we get up to in that space. We're holding this gathering monthly, and I will put links down below to how you can find it, register, join us. They're absolutely free, with a opportunity to donate to support the work if you would like, and it is just a delicious time. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Sabrina and let her share in her words some of what she is dreaming for us for the future on the far horizon. Check it out.
The way we live in cities is different now. Yes, friends and neighbors still live as individuals and families in big apartment buildings, but our buildings have lots of shared spaces. Some of those spaces are places where elders, children, and parents often spend time together, enjoying themselves and reducing the stresses that people used to feel when they needed help with their kids or their grandparents or parents. And both the seniors and the children love it. We have communal kitchens now, and they're great for preparing our fresh veggies harvested from neighborhood and private gardens. That's fun for almost everyone. We come together to enjoy being outside and share the work. And we even have cooking teams that specialize in canning and preserving, and that is so great for winter and fall. We also have other teams that specialize in baking, cakes, pies, and yummy things like that. We trade and barter with each other a lot. Raw vegetables, exchanging bread, sometimes for fruit. We just help each other in that way. And I think the interaction is really good too, because fewer people are lonely now. We seem to do a better job of making sure that all people and families not only have plenty of food, but they have plenty of company and plenty of people to talk to when they want it. The way we live and eat seems to make us happier and stronger now. But when someone does have a health issue, they can go to our local community centers. We also have micro hospitals, a lot smaller than regular hospitals, but they can do many things. It's easy to get help making appointments, even if you need childcare or elder care to go to one. Every building has a community health worker who specializes in helping us with problems like that. And even though the health centers are small, the doctors, PAs, and nurses that work there know their neighbors, so there's a lot more trust between them. Micro hospitals aren't very big, but they're better than old-style emergency rooms in a few ways. They're great in emergencies, but you can get your lab work done there too. I think we're a lot more local now. We get around, but a lot of it's pretty close. Most of us work locally or maybe from home. And the people who do leave for work take buses to work and get to sit with their friends. Work is also more flexible and family friendly than it used to be. And, all of our new city neighborhoods are really walkable. They have lots of parks and green spaces. It is so much more fun to exercise and go for walks outside now. We've even got baseball diamonds and basketball courts, and I've seen a few tennis and racquetball courts too. So local teams use the outdoor spaces all the time. Things have really changed since we started using money less and we started bartering more. I have friends who exchange tomato plants for sourdough bread. And everywhere I look, people are trading different time and energy tasks with each other. And we tend to do things that we like and we're good at, and then trade what we make with what other people make. So the relationship with money is different. And because we do so much more locally, and because we have really good state and national support, we don't have to spend as much time worrying about money, having enough of it. Are we making enough of it? All of that stuff. And even though we have less money, we have more energy, we have more time, we have more joy, and we have a lot less stress. It feels really different. It feels really good. A lot of people don't really need to own a car anymore. It's pretty easy to reserve an electric car, and it's relatively cheap. Since there are so many charging stations along the major highway, it's not hard to use them to get around. I mean, we still have gas cars because when you want to travel the smaller roads or go somewhere where there aren't charging stations, you can still rent those cars, and they're even less expensive. So it's a big money saver. Because we have a different style of life now, fewer people are all alone or without any resources or money. And it's easier to relax, to stay well, to rest, and just to feel good. Anxiety levels have gone way down all across the country. We have less money and we spend less money, but we have a lot more time. And we have the support and friendships we need. Mostly, I think we're just happier.